It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day. I didn't put no lotion on my feet, but we're going to do this video. In the name of Jesus, it's all good. In the name of Jesus, everything is working in our favor. And when I say our, I'm talking about the precious sons and daughters of the Most High God. Is that you? Let's get into this video. Welcome back to the channel, precious son or daughter of the Most High God. I hope you are having a lovely day today. It's sunny. It's warm. I'm liking this weather. I don't know where you are in the world right now, but you're here with me, and I'm happy to have you here with me in the presence of the Most High God. It's marvelous. It's wonderful. It's amazing. It's awesome. It's beautiful. It's perfect. It's glorious. Y'all, I have a video to do today. This video you watching right here, this video is about labeling people properly. The subject of today's video is about jealousy, hatred, and labeling people properly. Because see, there's certain people that don't deserve to be labeled as your friend. There's certain people that are a part of your family that don't deserve to be labeled as your family. So when it comes to coworkers, that's your coworkers. But when you start talking to your coworkers and y'all are developing a relationship outside of work, you have to be careful how you label your coworkers, because I'm sure you've heard many people say before that your coworkers are not your friends. Everybody ain't your friend. You got to really take heed to that message, because it's very important who you are giving your energy to and also who you are receiving energy from. Sometimes we as people can take things to a place where they don't need to go. And I'm referring to becoming friends with your coworkers. If you are ignorant to the way that the enemy moves, you might not want to become friends with your coworkers. Meaning overly friendly. Because you could be friendly in a way that's just cordial with people. You know, keeping things on a surface level, but still being friendly and still being kind, you know, but not taking it to where you're getting personal with a person. Because see, you can't tell everybody all your business. You can get too comfortable in your workplace and you could start getting personal with your coworkers, with certain coworkers. And then those coworkers will use that information and start slandering you behind your back, gossiping about you behind your back, and you don't even know it. And the whole time, they smiling in your face like they your friend, like they really mess with you, like they really like you. And they don't. They're a snake. They're an undercover agent. You know, they don't know who they are. They're not secure within their own identity of who they are. And so they have taken the opportunity to make a mockery of you behind your back just for kicks, just for entertainment purposes, you know, and you don't even know, and you don't want to be in that type of position. And this is something that happens a lot with God's children, and it's called persecution. This is something that we have to endure, something we got to experience and go through, because it's a part of the suffering that prepares us for where God is taking us to in our life, to make us stronger and wiser. So I've been through everything that I talk about. I've been through. Therefore, I can talk about it. So there's another situation when it comes to the workplace and getting too friendly and, you know, becoming too comfortable and getting personal with your coworkers, is having intimate sexual relationships with your coworkers. So your coworker has become your lover or your work husband or your work boyfriend. Your coworker has now become your work girlfriend, your work wife, your lover and your friend. When this happens, the ending results can be you being humiliated, because not only was the person at your job that you were messing with considered your work husband or your work wife or your work girlfriend or your work boyfriend, but they were messing not only with you but with other people as well as you. And you end up being humiliated because you thought you was the only one, because you thought you were special, because you thought that you and your coworker had some special thing going on. Another scenario when it comes to sexual relationships at work is you could end up pregnant by this person that you were just trying to mess around with, you know, and that wasn't a part of your plan. That wasn't included in your intentions. You was just trying to have a good time. But then a baby pops out. A baby ends up showing up out of that situation, out of that insecurity operating within you, out of that lack of faith operating within you, not trusting God to have somebody prepared for you that you just have to wait on. You know, now you got a baby to take care of from this person that you weren't even taking seriously, because some people, they could have sexual relationships with a coworker and they don't really care if that coworker is messing with other people. So there are people that we can treat like they are our friends, like they support us the way that we need to be supported, like they are there for us the way that we need somebody to be there for us. There are people in the workplace and outside of the workplace that we can treat like friends, like they're our friends. And we don't even consider them friends, but we treat them as such. We treat them like they're our friends. But they don't deserve the treatment of a real friend. They don't even deserve the label of a friend. They don't deserve the label or the treatment of a friend. We can treat people like they are our friends when they don't deserve that label or that treatment. When we are treating people like they are our friends, but they don't deserve to be treated like a friend, you're showing a person respect. You're treating somebody like they have value in your life. You're treating a person like they value you. You're treating a person like they support you the way that you need to be supported, like they pour into you. Like if you're pouring into them, like if it's an equal exchange of energy. You know, you're treating people like they care. They genuinely care for you when you treat them like a friend. You're honoring their presence like they deserve to be, like their presence deserves to be honored. If you're dealing with people that are not walking with God like you are, and you tend to attract a lot of people with a lot of issues, you might just feel like it's not that big of a deal to accept certain people. You may be even participating in the same things that they're doing, but those things are not what God wants you to do. But you're participating in them, or you're willing to participate in them just to not have to be alone. This is something that delays people's blessings. This is something that will delay your blessings from God, because you are willfully living a lifestyle of sin. You're not coming up out of that sinful lifestyle, therefore God cannot bless you. And this is the thing about it too, is that God has perfect timing, and certain things you will have to experience for yourself just to know what it's like and what it feels like, in order to be able to be fully equipped to handle the assignments that God has called you to do in this world, on this earth. You're going to have to go through certain things that will not feel very good. And there's nothing you could do, you know what I mean, to stop the situation from happening when it's a part of God's plan and when it's within God's will for you to experience certain things. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to beat yourself up over your mistakes. As a child of the Most High God, you are going to realize that you cannot eventually you're going to realize you cannot feed your mistakes the energy of regrets and the energy of remorse and sadness. Regret, sadness, and remorse over past mistakes is what keeps you stuck in the past. Keeps your mind stuck, disabled. I guess I could say disabled, crippled by the past, crippled by those mistakes, to where you cannot focus on the present moment, to where you cannot focus on what God is trying to tell you, what God is trying to show you about your future, what he's trying to show you about the present moment. And the enemy loves when God's children stay stuck in the past. I will tell you this, though. There's certain people that don't deserve your presence, child of God. There's certain people that do not deserve to be around you. They don't deserve to hear your words, to hear the words that you speak. The Bible, it says, do not cast your pearls upon swine. You got to know what the word says for yourself, because this is how you fight against the enemy. And the enemy uses people. The enemy will use people in your workplace to befriend you, only to end up ostracizing you, tearing you down, putting you down, trying to make a mockery of you, trying to slander you, wanting to humiliate you. Child of God. This is why God says, separate yourselves from among them and I will accept you. The enemy will use anybody and everybody, not just people in your workplace. He'll use your own family members. He'll use the people that you've been calling a friend. You don't even work with them. They're your so-called friends. In the book of Matthew, y'all, in chapter 7, verse 6, King James Version, it says, give not that which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn again and rend you. This is why I said in the beginning of the video, there's certain people that don't deserve the label of family. Your own family members that don't deserve the label family. They don't deserve the label, nor do they deserve the treatment of family. Family is a sacred thing. It's a sacred word. You know, there is sacred treatment that you give family. Just like there's sacred treatment that you give a friend. The word friend is a sacred word. You need to treat it that way, you know, like it's something that's sacred. Just like the word family. And not everybody deserves that type of treatment, nor do they deserve that type of label. The reason why there's certain people that don't deserve to be around you, nor do they deserve to hear the words that proceed out of your mouth, is because your words are sacred. Is because your presence is sacred, child of God. It's not something that everybody should have access to. You have to understand your own value to be able to get this type of information. You know, you are an honorable person when you are walking with God, when you are upholding to the standard that He has called you to walk in. The reason that some people cannot be around you is because you're too pure for them, because they will corrupt you. Bad company corrupts good morals, saith the Lord. You got to know the word for yourself. You can't be around them people because they are secretly hating on you. You can't be around them people because they are secretly jealous of you. Because the demons that are working within them know the Spirit of the Lord that is working within and through you. Therefore, they cannot stand you, but they will act like they like you. They will smile in your face until they get exposed, until it is time, until it is God's time to expose them to you for who they truly are and how they truly think and feel about you. You can't be around them people because they are wicked, because their hearts are dark and evil and wicked, because they have bad intentions, because their intentions are not like yours. Your intentions are pure and their intentions are wicked. I'm going to give you an example. So when I was in high school, right, my mom didn't buy me and my sister clothes and shoes like she was supposed to be doing. She kind of used the child support money on herself, and we had to suffer for it, you know, going to school in the same shoes and clothes every day, every other day. And one day I remember my friend at the time, my so-called friend at the time, she let me use her shoes. She let me borrow her shoes. It was some Nike Air Maxes, right? And I wanted to borrow these shoes because I ain't had no other shoes to wear. My shoes that I had were getting old, and you know, I was kind of ashamed to continue wearing the same shoes. So she let me borrow her shoes, and I let her have this shirt of mine. And just to be clear, y'all, me and my sister, we had enough clothes. You know, we had clothes on our backs and shoes on our feet. And, you know, when you have clothes to put on and shoes to put on, even though you don't have as much as you wish you had, as long as you have it, that's all that matters. And just to be clear, you know, I had enough clothes for like a 2-week rotation, I would say. You know, and some kids, they don't even get that. So sometimes we can be ungrateful when we really should be grateful for what we have. And so I let this girl borrow, I mean, not borrow, but have this Ralph Lauren polo shirt that I never wore. It was brand new, and it was from the Ralph Lauren store. Because my mom had took me there, and she bought me a purse and a shirt from the Ralph Lauren store, and I let this girl have the shirt. I don't know why I'm saying Ralph Lauren when I know it's Ralph Lauren. Anyway. So I get these shoes, these Nike Air Maxes, and I loved the shoes. I loved the way that they made my foot look, like I felt like my foot looked smaller in them, and I was just loving these shoes, and I did not want to give these shoes back. So I never gave her her shoes back. You know, technically you could say that I stole them. But see, that was not my intentions. My intention was to not be embarrassed at school. My intention was to feel better about myself. You know, to not feel so down and out, so low about my own worth, about my own value. Okay, now I'm going to give you this other story to bring it all together as a part of my example so that you can understand the message that I'm trying to get across to you. A very long time ago, when I was young and I was living in my hometown in Pennsylvania, and I was very young. I don't remember how old I was, but it was Christmas time. I got this new Barbie, and the new Barbie that I got, she was so beautiful. She was so pretty to me. She had crimpy hair. She was like, you know, a really high yellow. No, she was more of like a light brown, golden brown, a light golden brown color. And her name was Nina. I named her Nina, right? And my cousin asked me, one of my cousins, my female cousins asked me, could she borrow the Barbie? And I told her, okay, go ahead. You know, you could borrow it. Cause we had a lot of Barbie stuff this Christmas year. This one Christmas year, we got so much Barbie stuff. I told my cousin she could borrow that Barbie because me and my sister got more than enough Barbie stuff that year that we could share it with our cousins if we wanted to. I will never forget that Christmas, because that Christmas, it was the best Christmas that I ever experienced as a child. Because that year, me and my sister, we knew what we were getting for Christmas because we went snooping around our mother's room and we found in the closet a huge bag, a huge black trash bag of Barbie stuff. And I mean, when we saw that stuff, we was excited. We could not wait until Christmas Day because we already knew we were about to get so much Barbie stuff to play with. And it was not only Barbie stuff, it was a bunch of other toys, but it was a lot of Barbie stuff. So, you know, I told my cousin, yeah, go ahead. You could borrow her. I was waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting to get that Barbie back. And do y'all know, when I got that Barbie back, she didn't even look the same anymore. She looked like she was living her best life and it turned into her worst life. She looked like she was on drugs. She looked like she was living a druggy lifestyle. Her makeup, she didn't even have no makeup on her face hardly anymore. You couldn't see the details in her eyeliner or her eyebrows was gone. Everything about that Barbie was destroyed. Her hair was destroyed. And the moral of the story is, I don't know my cousin's intentions on keeping my Barbie that long to where she had to give it back to me looking the way that it looked. Only God knows a person's true intentions for why they do what they do. Because sometimes a person's actions can look very evil and malicious, but it's not that way. You know, sometimes a person's actions can look disgusting or, you know, selfish, or their actions can look lustful, but it's not that way that it looks. And the only way that we will know a person's true intentions, whether they be evil or whether they be good and righteous, is if a person shares with us their intentions, you know, in so many words, or either directly or either with their actions, they can show you. But God is the only one that knows everybody's intentions. I had to learn how not to assume so much about people, like how not to be the type of person that's always assuming something about somebody. because you really just don't know. You just never know a person's truest intentions of their heart. You just, you never know a person's heart. Because a lot of the time people will conceal the love that they have in their heart, the true care, the genuine love and care that they have in their heart, because they have been taken advantage of, because they have been treated so badly by people that they don't want people to see that love. They don't want people to see how much they love people and how much they care about people. And this is the exact reason why it's so important that we do not label people the wrong way. That we do not place labels on people that they don't deserve. That we label people appropriately. That we label people genuinely and honestly for what they are. They could be your coworker and you're treating them like they're your friend, but they're not. It could be your family member. You're treating them like a friend. You're treating them like they're your family, but they're you know what I mean? Their intentions, their heart is wicked and evil towards you, and they don't deserve that type of treatment from you, but you continue to do it because they are your relative, they are your family member. A friend should be held as a sacred person to you in your life. Not everybody deserves that label or that treatment. Families should be held as a sacred thing and sacred people to you in your life. Not everybody deserves that label, even if they are your family member, or that treatment. We have associates, people that you could call an acquaintance or an associate. That's like the same thing. Somebody you don't really know that well. They are an acquaintance or an associate. You associate yourselves with that person, but you really don't know them like you should. We have coworkers, we have friends, we have family members, we have family, we have acquaintances, we have associates, we have bosses, supervisors, managers, we have passerbys, strangers. Sometimes people that you treat like they are your friends are really strangers. You don't know those people, but you treat them and you call them friends. You treat them as friends and call them friends, and you don't even know them. They are strangers. They are acquaintances. They are associates. Same thing with some family members. They are strangers. They are acquaintances. They are associates. They shouldn't be treated like family, like something or someone sacred to you in your life that brings value, support, and love that you need. Before you call somebody your friend, do you know that person well enough to give them that label and that treatment? Before you call somebody your family, do you know them well enough to give them that label, that sacred label, and that sacred kind of treatment? Because this is the problem. Giving people sacred energy, giving people sacred treatment and sacred labels that they don't deserve. Because you are lacking faith in God, because you are doubting God, because you're worried, because you're stressed, because you are fearful, because you are uncertain, because you are double-minded, because you don't know which way to go, because you don't know what you're doing, because you don't know what to do with yourself. The way you protect yourself from labeling people the wrong way with labels that they don't deserve, like friend and family, or even husband or wife, or even boyfriend or girlfriend, Because, see, sometimes that ain't your boyfriend, that's a stranger. Because sometimes that ain't your girlfriend, that's a stranger. You don't even know them. You don't even know their intentions with you, towards you. That's not your wife, that's a stranger. That's not your husband, that is a stranger, because you don't even understand their intentions towards you. You don't understand the intentions they have for themselves. And you don't understand the intentions that they have towards you. Do you know their intentions? That is the question. And with that said, y'all, we have reached the end of this video. If you made it this far and you liked the video, give it a like, comment, subscribe, so you don't miss the next video that I post. And that's all, folks. Until I see you again, I see you. Stay virtuous.